Being recorded.
So we've had a lot of things happen in the world. Not really much to comment about a lot of them. You know, it's all pretty cut and dry. About people getting deported, about Israel taking back arms up again. You know, it's basically the same thing over and over again. So we'll leave that alone for this week. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm going to alternate a real heavy, pseudo-politically motivated sermon with something a little bit more Torah. You know, just kind of alternate things the way we alternate the melodies in our service. So, isn't it fascinating as we go through the Torah, 10 commandments, 10 verses. When we're reciting those commandments during the Torah service, I mean, if you read it on your own, there's something on the area of maybe 15 verses when you're reading it. But when we say it in the shul on that particular parsha, or when it's Shavuot, which is coming up, we say it in the 10 verses, one verse per each commandment. 10 verses. Contrast to that, and we've talked about this before, the Mishkan, the tabernacle. 4 parshas, not just 4 paragraphs, 4 parshas. 2 parshas where God says first, the first parsha, I want you to build the Mishkan, and this is what I want you to make. The next parsha, and I want you to outfit the priests and the ministers, and this is how I want you to weave it. We have 1 or 2 parshas in between, and then the book of Exodus ends with 2 parshas of them actually building it, and Moses taking an account of it. Isn't it interesting that God thought it was more important, or maybe not? I mean, good things come in small packages, do they not? Right? The atom is like the smallest particle, yet it does that in a hydrogen bomb, it does the most damage, doesn't it? So, but yet, our attention is drawn to the building of the tabernacle. So let us consider the implications and ramifications. What makes that so important that God would devote, and tell us to devote 4 parshas, 4 weeks to going over that? Because obviously it's important that we build the Mishkan. Now that was 3,500 years ago. Here we are today. Without a main temple, we don't do any offerings. The priests and the ministers, the Kohanim and the Levites, have decreased what they do. Maybe not so much in importance because they still get the first and second aliyah respectively, but they don't really do much. It's the rabbis, the teachers, that basically handle it. But yet, there's a lot of attention to that building. Friday night, there is a reading that we in conservative Judaism typically not do, and I'll do it, and I'll read it to you now. And in the traditional prayer books, it comes between the Kabbalat Shabbat and the regular Ma'ariv service. And it's from the Talmud. And it's from Berachot, which is the first book of the Talmud. Berachot deals with blessings. And it says, Rabbi Elazar said on behalf of Rabbi Hanina, Torah scholars increase peace in the world, as it is said, and all your children will be students of Hashem, and your children will have abundant peace. That's from Isaiah. Do not read Banayach, which is your children. And remember, in the Torah, the Hebrew does not have what we call nikud marks, vowels. So some words can be read different ways. But read it, Bonayach, your builders. There is abundant peace for lovers of Torah, and there is no stumbling block for them. That's from Psalms 119. May there be peace within your walls, serenity within your palaces. For the sake of my brethren and my comrades, I shall speak of peace in your midst. For the sake of the house of Hashem, our God, I will request good for you. That's also from Psalms 122. Hashem will give might to his people. Hashem will bless his people with peace. Adonai oz li'amo yitain. Adonai barech et amo v'shalom. Psalm 29, which is Mizmor LeDavid. When we're building a physical structure, we're building a spiritual structure. We're building a venue for spirituality. Now, here's where all this is going. We look at Torah as something that happened 35 years ago. We look at the venue of Judaism back then. It wasn't even called Judaism. It was just worshiping the one God. But take that to today. Is that not a commandment to build synagogues, which have replaced the temple individually? Is that not a request, a commandment to participate in it? Just the same way the people back then, our ancestors, rushed to give Moses the materials to build all this and make the clothing. They rushed. They said they had more than they needed, but after the tragedy of the golden calf, people couldn't wait to make amends and bring Moses their finest things, their gold, their silver, their bronze, their fine yarn, their wool so they can make the curtains, wood so they can make the planks, the excitement. What if we today could replicate that excitement in building our synagogues? Has Judaism lost meaning? Has the essence of Torah, honor the stranger, love the Lord your God with all your might, with all your heart, and with all your soul, love your neighbor as yourself, do justice, love mercy, walk humbly with God, all these things. That's what this is all about. Building the synagogue, our venue until the third temple is built. So let us take heed to this. Our children will be students of Hashem. Your children will have abundant peace. Do not read Banayach, your children, but read it Bonayach, your builders. Let us all be builders in the physical elements that house the spiritual venues of bringing out the best in people.